Another frustrated youngster like you. But instead of staying frustrated, I've decided to do something about it. And this is not just a YouTube channel, it's a mission that I want to pursue in my life. I started this because I believe that we as Indians deserve more. Not just the economic growth, but real, conscious, purposeful, and meaningful progress in our lives. And do you know that once all of us have started to achieve meaningful and purposeful achievements in life, what could happen to India? India will grow with us, which means India will be the future of the world. I know I can't do it alone, and that's why I started this channel, so I can bridge the gap to help us grow for the betterment of the future of India. Before I jump into the core of the video, I wanted to ask you all a quick question. The question that I've carried for a long time. When you look around our generation, the youth of India, what do you say? Just think about it for a second. Just think. Because you know what? If someone asks me that, you know what I see? I see energy, talent, passion, and a lot of unfulfilled dreams that most of us are struggling to achieve. And I believe that the reason behind it is that many of us are following a playbook that was handed out to us either by our parents, our family, or relatives, or even the society. Let me explain further. From a young age, most of us, including myself, have been told what the path for success looks like. And which is get good grades, get into a good college, get a job with a nice salary package, get married and settle down. This sounds brilliant, right? Yes, we hustled a lot, made it happen, no doubt about it. But have we ever stopped to ask, why are we on this specific path? Why did I pick this career? And even in my case, I didn't ask myself the why until I was 18 years old. My journey to find my why has started a few years ago, back in my 12th grade, when I was in a packed coaching class preparing for the amazing JEE exam. We were around 40 to 50 students in the class. All of us were having one same goal, which was to crack the JEE exam and get into India's best engineering college, which is the IIT. And all of us were determined, but exhausted. And I knew that there were thousands of us across India doing the same exact thing and soldiering on like robots just to get good grades and pass the exams. But only a few of us ever stopped to ask, why are we actually here? Why are we doing this? Why are we pursuing the JEE to become an engineer in the future? And I believe all of us were chasing the dream that wasn't even ours. It was either given to us by our parents, our relatives, teachers, society, and even in my case, my family told me engineering is the only way for you to succeed. And maybe you've heard the same similar in your life, whether that could be you have to become a doctor or get a government job or do what everyone else does, so you can be happy in your life. So being an obedient child, I told my parents, okay, I'll pursue engineering without any hesitation, thinking, why do I have to do engineering? However, during my engineering college days, I realized my life was following a script. It was not something I wanted to do. It was just following a default playbook that wasn't just unique to me, but also followed by many of my friends and mates in my university. And I'm sure all of us have seen this story play out among our family and friends. Don't get me wrong, following the script isn't necessarily bad. It works for some amazingly, but the problem is that so many of us follow it without ever asking why. And as I said, in my case, why engineering? Why that specific job? Why is this my life's trajectory? Why I want to end up here? I haven't asked myself these questions either, nor until my second year of engineering. Sitting in my lectures at university, that question of why started haunting me. Don't get me wrong, I was grateful for the education I have received, I was grateful for the opportunity I had, but I also felt empty. I remember thinking, do I even want to do engineering at this point? Or am I just doing it because it's what I'm expected to do? That question hit me so hard. It even scared me. But it was also a wake-up call for me. It was the first time I allowed myself to admit that this is not something I want to do. and it's not something I don't feel right. And I had been living my life on autopilot, which was said by someone else to live this way. In my second year of engineering, I decided to do something about this. I wanted to get rid of this feeling. I started skipping classes to explore beyond the syllabus. I began searching from my own why. I asked myself, if not this, then what? Why do I really want to do this? What is my purpose in life? To be honest, I didn't have a clear answer at first, but simply asking the why question lit a spark in me. It made me realize I have been living on default settings. Over the past few weeks, I talked to my friends and family about all this. Surprisingly, as you know, most of us felt the same. We are stuck in a rat race, chasing the goals handed down to us by others. And to give you an example, one of my friends confessed that he chose computer science because everyone said it would guarantee a job, even though his true passion was in mechanical engineering. Another senior had a high-paying tech job, but he felt his talents were wasted. He wasn't contributing to something that was meaningful to him. Again, please don't get me wrong, these were amazing, talented people, ambitious people, yet they felt boxed in, caged in with this thing in life being like, well, we have to follow XYZ things in our life. Hearing their stories convinced me that this has to change. This has to change in my life, and I want to achieve something. That's when I set out to explore what I want to do in my life. And today, I can say I'm happy, I found what I want to do, and I know why I want to do. But I know many of us are still out there in the same dilemma, wondering, why am I doing this? Why not to do something else what I actually enjoy and something that makes me happy? Just think about it. Young people in India make a huge population of India. I believe it's around 40% of the population, which is around 600 million, which is the youth of India. That's hundreds of millions of mind that could be solving problems, starting companies, creating art, and advancing in science. Just imagine if each of us was doing work that our heart truly cares about. Where could India be? I asked myself this question. What can I do to support this dream? And how can I help more of us break out from the rat race and be who they really want to be? I thought, what if I create a new playbook? One where you can understand what your life calling is. It shouldn't be bounded by the society or the family or anyone else. What if we could rewrite the script, starting by understanding our why for everything we do in our life? I started this YouTube channel to share my journey, breaking out of the mold, and to help others to do the same. I believe that when one of the young person chooses a path out of his conviction rather than the conventional route, it's not just their life that changes, it's India's future which changes and makes it much brighter. Okay, that must have been a lot of information for the past couple of minutes, but let's pause for a moment. I want to challenge all of you, each and every one of you, to reflect. Just as I did, ask yourself, why am I on this path? Am I on the right path? Am I feeling comfortable to do it? Really, just think about it. Is it because it genuinely excites me to do it? Because it aligns with the dream for your life and for your country? Or is it just simply the default next step that someone else has chose for me and I'm going to do it? It's okay if you don't have an answer right away. But the main point is to start asking the question. Look at the world around us. India is changing so rapidly. New opportunities are popping up every day in AI, entrepreneurship, manufacturing companies, lots of them, in so many fields. But are we, the youth, engaging with these chances? Are we just watching them from the sidelines, just passing it away? For example, digital payments have exploded in India. Something like the UPI has revolutionized how we transact on a day-to-day basis. And I believe the UPI transactions are close to billions of transactions in each and every month. That kind of innovation happened just because there was someone in India who dared to break the traditional path. and to think outside of the box in the banking and tech sector. Now, think about your field. What problems could you solve if you have dared to move out from the traditional route and to achieve something what you want to do as a passion? Now, what new play could you call that no one else was thinking about in the past? What could you do to your life? This is what I want all of us to ask ourselves. It's so easy to go with the flow, to do what our parents, our teachers, or the society expects from us. I get it. We don't want to disappoint anyone. We all crave security and approval. But remember, you have dreams. Maybe they're buried inside you because either you're afraid of them or you're afraid of failure, but they are inside you. Consider this as just a reminder, a gentle wake-up call to pay attention to them. Because those dreams have to come out. You have to find your dreams. You have to achieve your dreams. The next time you're filling out an application or accepting a job offer, or even scrolling through social media, looking at someone else's life thinking, oh, I could have had the life, just take a second to ask yourself, is this what I want to do? Is this my decision, or is this a default decision set by someone else that I have to follow? Again, I'm not here to tell you to quit your job or drop out of colleges. That's not the point of this. The point is to become conscious of your choices. Because when you do, you'll start making moves that align with who you truly are and the impact you want to have on yourself and on the nation. Just imagine when I say millions of young Indians do this, it becomes a revolution of purpose. India's growth story won't just be the economic numbers. It will be about our personal transformations, fueling the nation's progress, helping turn India into a global superpower in the future. That's what I want to see. That's what we can do as the youth of India. Here's the truth that drives the Indian Playbook 101. The India's future starts with you. Not the you who simply ticks the boxes on the age-old checklist, but the real you, the you with the unique ideas, passions and dreams. When you perceive actually what you genuinely want to do, you're not being selfish. Because I know when people want to do something which they like, some of them might comment, oh, you're being selfish. No, you're not. You're investing your future into something you like to do. And this investment which you're making will actually help India go further. Because a country's future is not just one person's success. It's the sum of millions of people in India who have their individual journeys. So, what can you expect from the Indian Playbook 101? The real talks. Stories of people who chose to take risks, founders, creators, change makers, who built their meaningful lives by stepping off the safe path and taking risks, taking calculated risks, which has resulted in a greater success for them and for the nation. And also you'll hear about the deep dives into business case studies, not just to admire the success which they've achieved, but to understand the struggles, the failures, and the grit behind the success which they've achieved. And also the conversations about how companies fight through the crisis and how they achieve success in their life. And also talk about the mindset discussions, especially the ones we carry as Indians, that can either hold us back or launch us forward. We have to break those norms, better understand what we are actually trying to do. Remember this, you are not alone in this journey. If you ever felt boxed up by expectations or unsure about your path, know that I was there in the same situation too. And there were millions of others who faced the same situation. But you know what I want from our generation? To flip the script and then throw the script away which was handed out to us from our olden days. I want you to write the future of India. I challenge each of you to keep asking why in everything you do. It won't always be easy, but it will be worth it in your life. Because when you find your calling, you don't just rise, you lift others with you. And that is how nations rise. I started Indian Playbook 101 to ignite a spark in all of us. I might just give you a push to get started, but you are the ones who will make the needle move and fuel the change in your life. And that change in your life will change the future of this country. Thank you for watching and being a part of the journey. This is just the beginning of much more to learn. Stay tuned for more stories. Until next time, ask yourself the why, but keep dreaming big and never forget, India's future starts with you. Thank you and signing off.